I said, great. I'll send it to you as soon as I get home. What's your email address? You know what they do? Give me their email address every time. Okay? And so that's number one. I want to make sure I have their email address. And number two, I want to make sure that I understand where they are and what they're trying to accomplish. And number three, I set a meeting to review the different options and different strategies that will help them achieve whatever their objective was. Pretty simple, right? So here's what we're doing. So I basically create a package. So this is maybe the number one question that I get from people is, well, what's in your package? Okay, well, this is what I take to the door. It's nothing more. Is this fancy? Too fancy? Okay, this is all I take to the door. Sometimes people give me a question. Do you ever just leave the package with them? The answer, no. Okay, I never just leave the package with them. So we're going to do an introduction. So we have the introduction letter. This is Lee's introduction letter. If you have Monster, it's basically the same letter. The real estate disclosure, if you are a licensed realtor, you need to tell them that you're a real estate agent. Okay? We have the California Homeowner Bill of Rights. How many people we have from outside of California here? Anybody? What state?
Arizona.
AZ?
Nevada.
NV? Anybody else? Okay, so we have some stuff for Arizona, Florida, Nevada that we can do. So they all have their own program. So they all have different versions of this. So we have the California Homeowner Bill of Rights. And if we don't have something in your state, if you have a similar program and you become an Advocate Marketing System member, then you send that to me off and we'll create this. This is all we did. I sent the designer a couple of web links. I said, make me a flyer, and that's what we got. Okay, there was some tweaking and back and forth once we got the template, but this is what it does. And we've done this for a number of states. And I think that we have one for Arizona, but I don't want to swear. I know we have one for Nevada. So this is designed to eliminate dual tracking. Now this is important. Let me just tell you, what you put in your package, everything that's in my package has one objective. There's lots of objections in here. But one objective, and that is to overcome their objections. Everything that's in here is when I go to the door and they say, I've already got it taken care of. I hired an attorney. I did all this. Everything that is in here is designed for one reason and one reason only, and that's to address those objections. So when they're trying to make me go away at the front door, which is what they want to do oftentimes when the first 20 or 30 seconds, they just want the package, and they're, maybe you've had the experience where they're just putting their hand through the door and said, let me have it, and I'm like, I need to talk to you about it. Will you give me 90 seconds? And then they crack the door open a little bit, and then we have a talk. And then I know it's working when they lean into the door a little bit. And next thing you know, they're on the patio, on the porch, and we're having a full-blown conversation. And then I say, this might be a sensitive matter. Maybe we should step inside and finish this conversation. And now they're offering me lemonade. Okay? How many have had that experience? Okay?
Pot. So I was offered pot.
Pot. Good for you. Was that before or after you needed a card?
Don't mind me.
All right, so we have the California Homeowner Bill of Rights, which basically says, which addresses only to answer one objection. So when I go to the front door and they say, I got it taken care of, I say, okay, are you doing it? Did you take care of yourself? Or do you have somebody helping you like an attorney, a real estate agent, or another real estate professional? They say, no, I hired an attorney. I say, great. They didn't charge you up front, did they? And they say, well, yeah, they did charge me up front. I say, and now I have two pieces. So now from there, I'm going to pull out the California Homeowner Bill of Rights, and then I'm going to pull out the Cal BRE alert, and I'm going to pull out the Senate Bill 94 and loan modification fraud alert, and I'm going to say, now I have two concerns. Number one, if you are in fact in the state of California, it's against the law for you to both be in active loan modification and have a foreclosure date. So my two concerns is, number one is either you're not in active loan modification review like you think you are, okay, and the house and the bank is going to foreclose on you, or you are in active loan modification review and the bank is getting ready to foreclose on you, which is against the law. And the second, according to the California Homeowner Bill of Rights, and this other thing that I'm concerned about, the person who's telling you it's been taken care of has illegally taken money from you in advance to provide loan modification services, and they're not allowed to do that because, according to the California BRE, it's illegal in California for lawyers to demand, charge, collect any advance upfront or retainer fees or any other type of prepayment compensation for loan modification work or services or any other form of mortgage loan forbearance. When was the last time you spoke to the bank yourself? Oh, I haven't spoken to the bank. In months. Ever. Can you see that? Can you see how that happened? So now, I'm saying, okay, this is a big deal. I said, listen, you need to call the bank. We need to call the bank. I'll tell you what I'll do. Okay, why don't we step inside, we'll call the bank together, we'll put them on speakerphone, I got 6 or 8 questions we'll ask, and we'll get to the bottom of this right now to find out exactly what is happening, because I'm not sure we can trust the information we're getting from the lawyer, because if it was handled, you wouldn't have a foreclosure date right now. So let's call them and make sure you don't have a foreclosure date and you are in fact getting the loan modification that you think you're getting.
Boom, mic drop.
Okay? That's how you work your way into the house. Does it make sense? How many of you can do that right now? See, I'm not going through and say, this is what's in this package. This piece of paper will tell you why that it's illegal. This piece of paper will do this. I'm only talking about what's in the package in response to what they're saying to me. You see that? It has nothing to do with the package. People say, well, what should I put in the package? I'm like, well, what do you need to overcome objections? What objections are you getting when you go to the door? That's all you need in your package. Does that make sense? It's nothing else. How many of you ever had a solid conversation by just, here's the package, leaving it, and they called you back a few days later? I was reading that package, and will you come back over here and help me sell my house? Doesn't happen that way. Okay? So here's the Senate Bill 94 bill, which basically is 2 pages that has even an FAQ on the back. Well, what if I give them money up front, but it's for something else? Okay? Here's the Cal BRA. This is homeowner scan. So we have a California version, we have a national version.
So what do you say for out-of-state people then?
For what do you mean?
Well, you can't say, well, the California bill.
Well, if you have one, then you give it to me. But this.
I don't think Arizona has any rules.
The FTC does.
Okay.
So now we created a Federal Trade Commission document that you would use for out of state. So according to the FTC, it's illegal for them to charge you upfront fees for loan mods. Okay. So this is the homeowner assistance scams. This says, just beware of scams, I said, so one of the things and I get to this last, sometimes I never even talk about it because I don't really need it. This is just there. But I had this here because they said, well, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And if it's on this list, I pull this out and say, okay, I'm not saying you're being scammed, but you should beware. Okay? You should take a deeper look. Okay? Let me ask you, have you given them the first sign that it might be a scam is that it costs you money? One of the things you need to know about me is I'm never, ever, never, ever, never, ever going to ask you to pay for any services related, pay me to help you get a loan modification or to postpone your foreclosure. We do all those services free pro bono for you. Okay?
So then what's in it for you then?
What's in it for me? Well, see, this is where I go back to my story, right? I said, listen, I work with, as part of our public outreach, we work with a handful of homeowners, handful of homeowners at a time in order to help them understand the alternative of foreclosure so they can avoid foreclosure and keep their house. Okay? The reason that I do that is that we've been very successful in this market, and I had my own foreclosure experience in 2009, and I learned specialized knowledge, and I feel compelled in order to share it with a few people at a time. There's no cost or obligation for any of those services that I provide. I'm never going to ask you to pay me to help you get a loan modification. The only thing that I ask of you is that you want my help. would it be okay if I helped you? They say, okay, and we just go on. And then they say to me, if they say to me, well, don't you get paid to list my house? I said, yeah, but if you decided to list your house and you decided you wanted to use me, of course you have no obligation to do that, then I would get paid, but that money would probably come from the bank and probably not for you, depending on circumstances. I don't have enough information, and I'm certainly not here to talk to you about listing your house, unless that's the conversation you're ready to have. But generally speaking, when I come to the door, people want to talk about saving their house, and I'm here to help you save your house from foreclosure. Would you like my help?
Yep.
All right? So it's not that, but I'm coming from the heart. I'm not focused. I don't have a focus first on getting the listing. I tell them the truth. Everything I said is honest. Now, do I get a lot of listings from this? The answer is yes. Okay, we get listings. But the reason that we get listings is that we help them go through the loan mod process, and we know statistically that 15% of people that apply for a loan mod are going to get approved for a temporary loan mod, and only 4% of those will end up with a permanent loan mod. And we know at some point they're going to run out of highway, and they're going to get turned down for a loan mod for the last time, and they're going to call me and say, "Hey, I got turned down. Now what?" And I say, "I'm on my way." Okay, you'll see how we get there. This is where that data comes from, right here. So I show this. I said, listen, according to this doc, only 15% of people get a loan mod. Only 4% get permanent loan mod. Okay? Here's this guy here is the, former loss mitigator, he takes a better photo than he looks in person. Then, same with this guy, all right? So this guy, now this pack, I don't put this in my package. This is one of the things that we offer to send them at the first meeting. So I don't put this in the package. I reserve it, and I offer to send it to them via email, or I offer to bring it to the second meeting, or both. Okay? But this is a 5-page ebook. We call it a book. I have a book. And it's called How to Negotiate Your Own Loan Modification. It focuses on 5 mathematical formulas that you have to pass in order to get a loan mod approved. Front-end debt to income, back-end debt to income, pre-mod cash flow, post-mod cash flow, and net present value. If you qualify for 4 of those 5, you're not getting a loan mod. So what we want to do is that one of the things that this book will explain to you, and one of the things that we will help you with, is looking at all your mathematical computations and make sure you're in the guidelines that give you the best chance of getting approved. Now, you think another agent or investor is having that conversation with them? I'd love to send you the book so you can read it, and then we can meet again, and I'd be happy to review your loan modification and tell you what you should or shouldn't do in order to adjust your application so that you have the best chance of getting approved for a loan mod. You think we might be able to do that tomorrow, or is the next day better? Next goal, second meeting. Because this is a relationship business, right? Okay? Are you the first person to show up at the door talking about? Yeah, but you're the first person to show up and talk about saving their house. Everybody else is saying, hey, the best way, they want to talk about avoid foreclosure, and that is list with me or sell to me. Right? Everyone else is saying, sell me your house. I'll buy your house. How much do you need to get out? They're showing up with fake checks for $25,000 and say, hey, if you sell me your house, I'll make sure you get $25,000 so that you can move. Anybody seeing that out there? Okay, so that's the kind of stuff that's going on. We're creating differentiation. I put this Keep Your Home California flyer in here. It's a one-page flyer. Okay, and it just is a summary of the Keep Your Home California programs. It's just one simple page. So now, not only am I not trying to list their house or buy their house, what I'm doing here is I'm saying, hey, have you applied for Keep Your Home California? So this is how one of the ways I can start to find out what's really going on with. They got 4 programs. I'm not sure if you qualify for any, but they have an unemployment mortgage assistance, a mortgage reinstatement assistance, a principal reduction program, and a transition assistance program. Are you behind because you're unemployed? Okay, that one doesn't work. Do you owe more than $25,000 for a mortgage reinstatement? Okay, that one's not going to work. The principal reduction, we hear it's out there, but I don't know how you qualify, but we can apply. for that. And then you got a transition assistance for people who have just given up and decided the last thing they do is they're ready to move, transition out of their home and into something more affordable with the help of